Hey friends, this is Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from Atlanta, Georgia. And this video is part 3 on how to avoid Uber burnout. Stay tuned. Hey friends, welcome back. This is Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from Atlanta, Georgia. And hey, welcome back. I want to talk to you guys about burnout, right? And how burnout can cause you not to make as much money as you can possibly make. And specifically in this video, part 3, we're going to talk about compare-itis. And I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you really kind of customize what you're doing so you're not comparing yourself to other drivers. Okay, so we hear stories about how much money other drivers are making on different platforms and on Uber, driving Lyft, and a lot of times we don't really get to see the proof. So and what sparked this topic and how I'm tying it into burnout is because when you try to keep up with somebody else, you're not really running your own race, and there are a lot of factors that go into how much money you are going to earn as a driver. All right, so I posted something in the community a few days ago. I think it was how much I had made for a week, and I had spent a lot of hours on the platform, and to me, it in a sense, it wasn't a quote unquote bad thing. Sure, it could be some tweaking. I was actually testing out a strategy, and some people commented, saying how much they made with the same amount of hours, and how much they made in a shorter period of time. And I don't dispute any of that. It is totally possible to make different amounts of money on these platforms, right? But I want to caution you guys when it comes to comparing yourself to other people. And I have 5 tips, and I want to go ahead and get through these 5 tips because I know it's hot, super hot. That's why you see it's like really, really bright here in Atlanta. It's hot. The car is saying 91 degrees. It's crazy. All right. So the first thing you want to do, or you want to avoid, right, because you're comparing yourself to other drivers, the first thing is the skill level. You don't know what somebody else's skill level is, and you really shouldn't compare yourself to them. Okay, and I'll give you guys an example and a story. So when I first started driving back in 2014, a coworker of mine told me about Uber. Uber was new. It was let me make sure this thing is not too hot because it'll get really, really hot. So I may have to hold this phone, because it's getting really, really hot, guys. So the coworker had told me, right, that her brother was driving for Uber. And I'm like, okay, cool. She told me, she explained it to me. And one thing that I failed to do was actually talk to the brother. And she said, the brother's making a whole lot of money. He drives, I think he was driving a Chevy Avalanche or something like that at the time. Mind you, like I said, this was 2014. So I didn't think about it, and I got out here and I started driving. I had been in transportation for years, but just because you're good at one thing doesn't mean you're good at something else. Picking up a package and taking it across town is something totally different than learning how your market works. It's different than learning where the best places to drive, when the best places to drive. Those are things you need to know as far as being a driver, right? So don't compare yourself to somebody else because you don't know what that other person's skill set is. Okay, your skill set could be totally different than theirs, and a lot of times you'll set yourself for failure, set yourself up for failure, and then you'll get burned out, stressed out, because you're thinking, okay, well, I can make $2,000 a week, and this other person is doing it. Maybe not. And one other thing, I'm going to piggyback on this. So this is tip 1.1, consistency. So someone posted they made $2,000 in 50 hours. I'm like, okay, great. Is that consistent for you? Is that something that you can sustain, right? Or sustain? That's a question I'd have to ask someone. Number two, are your personal preferences. So for me, and I have I'm reading off my tablet, guys, so bear with me. I can't use my hand because it's too hot. I'll flip this thing around. You probably can see my little stand there. It's super duper hot out here, y'all. So it says, what will or won't you tolerate, right? So for me, I don't like driving the overnight shifts on Friday and Saturday. I'll do it if I have to, but that's not my cup of tea, right? I feel like I can make the same amount of money, and I typically do during the week. Now, would that cause me to drive more hours? Yep. But will I have less vomit in my car? Yep. Will I have to deal with less inebriated people, wild people? Yep. Will you get a lot of repeat business off of your, people that you drive hopping from bar to bar? Probably not. During the day, you get a lot of business travelers, people who will ask you for your business card or ask you, can you pick them up later? You just never know. And they become private clients. And you guys ought to check out my video on private clients about, not soliciting the private clients. Let these people ask you if it's okay for you to be their driver. So it's personal preference. That's going to affect your income. So, if you like to, some people swear by doing Friday and Saturday nights. And like I said, I'm okay with that. If that's your hustle, great. But you got to know yourself. And then don't compare yourself to anybody else if you're not willing to do the things that they're willing to do. Okay? Or you'll get burned out trying to keep up with the Joneses, but you're not willing to do what Mr. Jones or Mrs. Jones was out there doing. All right? The next thing on the personal preference, because I have a B, like a part B. First part was A, like what you're willing to do or won't do. The second part is B. So you have to consider like family, or your other obligations. Like I have a daughter, you know what I mean? I have a daughter, I have a girlfriend, and I have family. I actually have two daughters. So one daughter lives with me. Actually have three when I really think about it. I want to consider, my girlfriend's daughter, because I consider her my daughter. Case in point, I was out helping her move from one dormitory to another dormitory this past Monday. So you have to consider those things. For me, I like to be at home with my family at night. I do. I like by 8 o'clock, I like to be done. I don't care what, Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I like to be done by 8 o'clock. So you have to consider those things in your style of driving, or else you'll get burned out once again trying to keep up with the Joneses. Everybody's technique is different. So it's not like you're putting in a whole bunch of hours for, some other company. You're doing this for yourself. All right, you're doing this for yourself. So you have to tailor it to work for you. Know thyself. Okay. The next thing, number 3, is your market. So the two guys that left comments, they were talking about, one guy said, he was in DC, and I'm in Atlanta. All right. So let me make that clear. I'm in Atlanta, and the cost of living is not as high as it is in DC here. And another gentleman said how much he made in New Jersey. The cost of living is not as high in those two places. I mean, as in here as it is in those two places. So you always have to consider, like I said, don't compare yourself to other people. You got to look at what you got going on. All right. Look at your market. All right. So you got to know when your market is popping. You got to know when your market is not popping. All right. But just because, I'll give you guys another example, right? So the referral fees that Uber drivers get, right? So let's say the referral fee here in Atlanta, I think it just dropped down to maybe like $150 or something like that. It fluctuates, right? But the referral fee out in San Francisco is typically higher. It's like $700 sometimes, $750. All right. Why? Because the market is different. All right. The cost of living out there in San Francisco is probably 2 or 3 times higher than it is here in Atlanta. So you don't need as much money to survive down here. So you gotta know your market. All right. Don't compare your market to somebody else's market. You know, you may see me showing something, a screenshot or something. You know, don't compare my market to your market. If you live in a town that maybe only has 1 million people in it, your results are going to be different. All right. That's not saying that you can't improve your results, but your results are going to be different because of your market. Even inside of a city, you know, I'm in a city right now. I'm in Metro Atlanta, and there's a city here. I'm in Douglasville. I just dropped somebody off, right? And here in this particular market, I probably won't stay out here long. I'll probably start moving back toward the city because there's a higher volume. There's a greater chance that I can get a ride closer toward the city. Why? Because there are more people in the city of Atlanta. All right. So I can stay out here. Will I get something? I could. Will I get something fast? Maybe not. Okay. So let's move on. Let's go to the next point. Glad you guys are hanging in there with me. And the next thing is number 4, your vehicle. Okay. So I just upgraded to Uber X. You see my seats back there. Bow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm Uber X. Okay, peeps, what's happening? If you made it this far in the video, obviously you could tell that things have changed. I got a ping yesterday while I was recording this video, so I had to go get the money. It's so funny because I was just saying, if you watched it this far, then you know I was just saying that there wasn't a whole lot of business out there, and I did get a ping. It was a regular Lyft ride, and then I got a regular X ride right behind that, and it start getting close to rush hour, and I put my my status on XL only, and I got 2 XL rides, like not really back to back, but I did get 2 XL rides, and so it wound up being a decent day. I stopped early because my girlfriend had a birthday. So now back to what we were talking about. I was showing you guys the XL vehicle when the ping came, so I just upgraded to XL, and I was talking about you know, comparing yourself to other drivers who may have different vehicles, and sometimes that can create burnout too, because when you have a smaller vehicle, like I just upgraded my vehicle from a Nissan Sentra. You know, I was driving a Sentra for a while. Before that, I was driving Sonata. And before that, I had a Chrysler Pacifica, which is an XL vehicle. And, you know, going from XL back down to X, it's a lot of work. You can make the money, but it's a lot of work. So a lot of my friends, they drive XL select vehicles. And yeah, it's a very big difference when you hear your buddies. Come on, we use Zello. If you guys haven't used the app Zello to communicate with other people, you should definitely do that. So it helps you. It definitely helps in the rideshare game to be able to connect with other drivers, especially like-minded drivers. So, you know, to hear these guys talk about how much they're making because they picked up XL or Select or something like that, it's a huge difference in the price. All right, it's a huge difference in the pay when you upgrade your vehicle. So, you know, so you can get burned out. Trust me, if you're listening to what's going on with other people. So when people come on and say, well, yo, I made $2,000, you know, because I know personally one of my buddies, he can make $2,000 with his vehicle because he has a vehicle that can do Select XL, Lux Black SUV, and he also does private rides. So I know that can be done. You know, on X, yeah, you can do $2,000, but you're gonna be out here a lot, many hours. So I don't want you guys to get that twisted and confused, because that can hurt you if you're really not paying attention. I'm actually sitting waiting on the XL ping now, and if you haven't seen my video using patience and wisdom, when you're driving Uber XL, you need to check that out. I'll put that in the end card. I may go ahead and put it in the I'll put that in the end screen, and I may put it on the card. Yeah, I'll do that for you guys because I care. All right, so you definitely want to not compare yourself to others, especially with your vehicle type. You may even be an X driver, but your vehicle can qualify for Uber Comfort, which is now on the X platform. You know, and I didn't know that before I upgraded to XL, that it was tied in with the Uber X platform. So, you know, I'm thinking like I could do some Uber Comfort, but I'm looking at the rates. I looked at the rates this morning. I'm like, nah. And I'm looking at my gas tank like, nah. You know, so it's going to take a lot of patience. It's going to take a lot of wisdom. You got to be really smart. You got to know where the people who have, and I say this all the time, you got to be around the people who have disposable income. And so, you know, I'm over in this area called Buckhead. I'm right on the Buckhead Sandy Springs line. It's a lot of money right here in this area where I am. It's mansions to the right of me, mansions to the left. They can afford my service. Okay, so and they're, I would say they're more likely to tip because they have disposable income. So the fifth and final thing, right, to help you avoid burnout because you're comparing yourself to someone else, are your goals and your exit strategy. You gotta know why you're out here driving. Before you even get in your car, before you start your car in the morning, you need to know why you are out here driving. Okay, so you need to take care of that. You need to know your financial goals, your household goals, what you need to do, and then your exit strategy. Like, how long do you really want to do rideshare? Yep, I'm full-time, and you know what's funny is I stopped my job that I was doing before this. I stopped doing that job so I could have the flexibility to build the type of business that I want to build by doing this full-time, you know, and that it actually did, and I had to make an adjustment. So if you're adjusting from part-time to full-time, you got to know why, and you got to stay focused. 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 I'm telling you guys, stay focused. All right. And you got to be patient because your dream might not materialize as fast as you thought it would. You know, and you got to keep the right people around you. I cannot express having a quality network around you. You know, that will also help you keep from being burned out because you'll have some positive people around you telling you words of encouragement. Right, okay, and there's somebody just coming in right now, so let me turn that down. That's from a Zello app. So like I said, I'm for real, y'all. I'm really out here. Like, this is not a game for me, but I make it a game. I play it like a game, right? We talked about that in the first Burnout video. All right, so don't be afraid to adjust. You know, it took me a while. You know, I'm having to adjust now to an Uber X strategy, and that's okay. You know, I'm okay with having to adjust. It takes a lot of patience because these rides, you don't get as many rides as you do with Uber X, but it's way less wear and tear on the car. The rates are much better. Typically, like yesterday, my first XL ride, it was just one person. You know, the day before that, one person. You know. And that's okay, you know. And then I had a family, yesterday I had a family, somebody was moving their kid to college, family from Ghana, actually. They were moving their kid to college, and, you know, they needed extra room. They had picked up their groceries and a lot of supplies from Costco, you know, so their son can, you know, have a great college experience and start off his college experience great. So that's it. Those were the 5 things. I'm glad you guys stuck in this far. I wanted to get it, you know, come back and do it yesterday, but like I said, I had a birthday, and, you know, family's gonna come first, man. You got to know your priorities, okay? And that's another thing to help you keep from getting burnt out. Know your priorities. Don't ever slack up on you guys' personal development, and, you know, whatever it is that you need. If you need to watch this video again, watch it. Go watch some motivational videos. You got to stay motivated out here. You got to stay positive. You know, I would recommend you join some type of networking group so you can be around like-minded individuals. You know, sometimes it takes one idea to help you, and you never know, that one idea could change your future. All right. So once again, this has been Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm still the Southeast Beast, the Conquering Chief, Your Highness, the Finest, Prosperity Done, #1. And this video is a wrap. Yeah, baby. I got my seats folded down from my XL ride yesterday. So I'm happy about this car. I'm very thankful. I'm stay in a state of gratitude, you guys. And gratitude will definitely help you get more blessings. You know, the more grateful you are, it's like a magnet. You know, I know I'm getting into metaphysics, but stay grateful. Stay grateful to the people that you have in your car. It doesn't matter if you're on X, XL, Select, it doesn't matter. Stay grateful for those people, all right? And stay grateful to your future clients, customers that are coming to you in your car and coming to you from other businesses. Take it to that level and you'll definitely see some results. Raise your vibrations out and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.